It hasn't been an easy adjustment for Ari. I'm her boundaries, so to speak. But I just love her, and I'm just trying to give her some parental guidance along the way. Nothing's bugging you?
I mean, to like come back and have to like be living under your roof and like your rules and stuff, because I was not for a whole year. It's just like I have to get used to it because I haven't been here. And then the fact that you've only had like kind of 3 kids here is like you got used to that. So it's like kind of like you have to remember that I'm here too sometimes.
Do you feel like we're treating you fairly?
Obviously, like the car situation was kind of weird for me.
What was weird about it?
It was just overwhelming, and I'm not trying to fight with anyone. I didn't think it was 100% fair.
It seemed like you were unappreciative, and the fact of the matter is, if you weren't coming home, I would not have gotten that car.
No, and I know that. That's why I didn't want to come off like that at all. But the boys are getting things before I ever did or ever even thought I would.
I think brothers and sisters tend to compare. They want to be treated equally, but it's not really possible.
I think that Ari is doing what children do, believe it or not, and expressing a bunch of grievances about other things that might be a problem, but they aren't the top problem. I mean, Ari was supposed to be the only little girl. I can only imagine that that's something that she held on to growing up most of her life. But, you know, this person is very balanced. I have to give them that. Very balanced, so she doesn't take it out again on her sibling. But I'm pretty sure that a lot of these grievances have to do with her coming back home from college and limelight, cameras, everything in her face. She's not used to this, and so she always has to adjust. Now, obviously, as time went by, she adjusted to it, but this can be a lot for a person, especially somebody who has given up so much of their identity for a sister that they weren't supposed to have, right?
I just really want you to like hear me out sometimes. Like, it's really just my feelings, and I want to be able to express them, you know?
I've never stopped you from saying how you feel.
I don't want to fight. Like, I hate fighting. I hate yelling at people. That's not something I enjoy doing. I want my dad to just respect me and hear me out, even though he might see me as just a rebellious college student.
I think in general, I guess maybe sometimes I misunderstand how you feel. So I got to do a better job of listening more to what you're saying. That's a fair deal.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think any conversation with the kids gets fully complete and resolved. I just want Ari in a good place with me and her family. And I think we both agreed that we would see each other's perspective and try to respect those down the road. All right. We love having you.
I think that they tried to have a storyline for Ari because, you know, this is the beginning, but it just never kicked off. And she probably was perfectly fine with that.
Is set and organized and put together.
I don't know if you like any of this stuff.
That's a chocolate.
We love this. My name is Jessica Herthel, and I'm co-author of the book I Am Jazz, and I'm a close personal friend of Jazz and her family. Well, remember when we first made the book and we were going to self-publish it, and I said if we ever sold 400, that for me was the goal.
I can't believe, like, thinking 10,000 little people holding the book.
When my 3 kids.
By the way, guys, if you do like these clips, these videos, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button and the notification bell. We have been, you know, I'm pushing the episodes back out. And we'll start going live again in like a couple weeks. So we will be ramping everything up again because I really enjoy doing this. I really do. I'm still trying to find a way to make it my only job, you know, but God is good and we will get there.
Kids met jazz for the first time, and I explained to them in a very basic way what transgender meant. Jeanette and I saw how quickly they were able to get past it. I said to Jeanette, there should be a book out there for parents who want to have this conversation but don't know how. Are you guys still getting letters from around the world?
We got a letter from a girl who read the book, and she was like 5 years old and she was transgender.
And then Jazz got very emotional because she got into this funk where she's like, I'm not worthy of this. Like, I didn't do anything other than just be myself.
So what did the letter say that got to you?
It wasn't just like the letter. It was just like, there's other kids out there who have it so much harder, and they're still living through every single day, even though they face discrimination, their own family doesn't accept them, and everyone looks up to me.
That's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, I guess I was about to be like, nobody looks up to you, but but maybe at that time he was right. Everybody was looking at what he was doing, this fraud life that he was living. Now to say that because this person, this other money maker, this money handler, when she said like, okay, when I came through, I had to introduce the children to jazz, and the children were very receptive of it. They weren't fine. They didn't have a problem with jazz and everything. So we figured we needed a book for everybody else. No, it's a case by case situation. You didn't need to really have a book. We wanted to get the book. This is really all part of the narrative, the play, the storyline, right? You didn't really need a book. It's a case by case. Like if somehow I knew somebody who had this happening and then their kid comes over, I would tell my kid, like, there's no reason for you to be mean to somebody, but this is not natural. This is not the norm. This isn't what everybody does. And there's a lot of implications that come with it. But again, you don't have to be mean. Everybody can get along, because I don't promote that type of stuff, right? Like, we don't need to be mean to people. But I'm also a female, so I'm, like, I have emotions. That's just kind of like, you know. But at the same time, we didn't need a whole book for everybody to just feel like, oh, this is fine. Let's have the book. But it's part of the storyline, though. It's part of the money making machine.
I think that for Jazz, being a teenager is a lot harder just because she has a lot on her plate, not just with her own transition, but knowing that there are so many other trans kids and adults who look up to her as a role model. So many trans youth who are closeted, that is all they are, because it consumes them. Like the secret or the shame is almost everything. And I think that what's so great about your story is you show that it's just one part of who you are, and you can have this normal life, and you can have friends and pool parties and birthday parties. And I think people love to see just how regular your life is.
Without any responsibility of the future of what a person has to go through when it comes to surgeries, medications, things like that. How many meds is Jazz on in this clip? We don't know. They don't share everything, right? So it seems fun in the beginning, especially when you're watching it on television, and then you're like, oh, I can get a show too, and all of this. Like, no, there's a lot more that comes with this. And again, there are people who are, I think, closeted about their anxieties of themselves and what they've been through of some sort of thing that's happened in their life. That's what I think, but I don't think it has to be this whole thing about, oh, we're here, we feel this way because we're the wrong gender. Like, no, like, or maybe I just, again, feel like I'm odd or awkward, period. That's actually, again, normal for kids.
My second favorite color is silver, and my third favorite color is green. I have a girl brain, but a boy body. This is called transgender. I was born this way. Mom said that being Jazz would make me different from the other kids at school, but that being different is okay.
We're so proud of this family. They've listened to their child and they've brought Jazz along in an amazing way. I don't want it to sound like we overglorify, but we're as blown away by watching this process as anybody could be.
Inside, I am happy. I am having fun. I am proud. I am Jazz.
I'm having fun and I'm proud. Yes, because you get to do shows, you get to write books and everything. Now, let's go back to Grandmom and what Grandmom was saying. There's no pushback. The only people who obviously gave pushback are the people who are not on the show. The father's parents. Where are they? Okay. They probably said, no, we can't be a part of this. Okay. Now, with Jazz, again, this book, reading it off, and I'm happy. Again, it's I remember when this book came out and I was like shocked, like, wait, what are we talking about here? Like, but it wasn't such a national conversation, so it was just like a real quick thought, and then I moved on from it. I was just like, whatever. But this is something that has become a problem, and the thing is, you'll have the influencers who they don't really talk about it no more. They've moved on while this thing is still happening. So this is the beginning of it. This is, everybody praising this huge issue and not speaking about it in reality.
Wow. So we are open for questions. You have a question? Yes.
I don't really have a question other than to just say thank you, because we're going through that transition now, and it's exciting times, and it's also, you know, challenging times. And I just want to thank you because you've kind of forged that for us, and this book has been very helpful for that.
Just wanted to echo what my husband said. We would not be such a well-adjusted family if it weren't for you and your well-adjusted family.
I wish I could find these well-adjusted kids today. Gosh.
We feel like a normal family, and that's because of you guys. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It hasn't been an easy road for us, but we really felt compelled to share Jazz's story so that others wouldn't have to endure a lot of the things that we had to go through. To see a loving family doing right by their child just makes it all worthwhile.
Mhm.
I mean,
Listen,
how can these two just not see that, like, they're promoting some of the wrong things, especially him? But you got to have a strong backbone with these kind of situations. And when you allow your wife to put you in this and everything, because we'll see later on down the line, there were times where you could tell Greg was like not happy at all. I'm sure there were arguments. I'm sure there are arguments to this day. There's no way that something this serious, everybody was just fine with it. As especially, I always say, because the mom said to the child, "This is what you think," and that is what it is. You know, 2 years old, I knew that I was this. It doesn't make sense. Let's see you guys at the next one. Bye.